Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sportsline Friday Night. We've moved into the month of December. You're starting to notice plenty of Christmas decorations all around town, and that means the Louisiana Superdome next weekend and the state championship games. The question is, who will reach the Louisiana Superdome? That's why we've got the state semifinals tonight, and that's why Sportsline Friday Night is still on the air with you this evening. Let's start with the Catholic High Bears. They were having a rematch tonight in the semifinals against the Edna Karr Cougars. Catholic up 3-0 late in the first quarter. John Johnson airs it out to Xavier Owens for the touchdown. That's a 36-yard touchdown. Karr with a 7-3 lead. But the Bears answer early in the second quarter. They're playing two quarterbacks. Here is Baylor Graves, quarterback keeper, and it's a 36-yard touchdown. So Catholic High goes out in front 10-7. Late in the first half, though, here comes Johnson. Watch him get the snap, and he navigates the sideline beautifully, tight ropes it for a nifty 11-yard touchdown. So Karr, they kick a field goal after that to take a 17-10 lead at halftime, and that was the score late into the game. After the Cougars missed a 31-yard field goal that could have iced the game, here come the Bears. Turner Goldsmith, the pass down the sideline to Jude Chamberlain. That's almost a 40-yard pickup. Then on a 4th and 11 for the Bears, Graves in the quarterback. He throws it deep. It's incomplete, but a pretty obvious pass interference there. A first down for Catholic High. Then it is Jaden Miles. He gets the direct snap. He appears to be heading towards the game-tying score, but the ball pops out. Fumble. Karr recovers to seal the win, and oh man, Catholic a year ago lost to a Karr team that went 14-0 and won the state championship by the score of 53-8. They lost last year 21-19, and this year they come up a touchdown short. Final score in this one, as we take a look at it, it was 17-10. Edna Karr hangs on. They are moving on to the Dome. All right, let's talk about Division IV Select. Oh, let's talk about this bracket. First, Edna Karr and St. Aug going head-to-head. St. Aug able to take care of John Curtis. So obviously a big New Orleans feel there, and should be a huge crowd in the Dome. Now Division IV Select semifinals, Ascension Catholic on the road at Westminster Christian. And here's the birthday boy, Trevin Simon, a 70-yard touchdown run up the middle. And then Simon says, I'm going to score from 11 yards here, and he becomes the state record holder not only for yards in a season, but also touchdowns in a year rushing. Quarterback Greg Fernandez fakes the handoff, and when you got a running back like Simon, he draws attention, and Fernandez, taking nothing away from him, romps into the end zone for a 37-yard score. Simon, however, wasn't done here. A little pitch to the outside and sprints through the defense like they're standing still. 45-yard gallop for Simon, who put up incredible numbers in this game. Westminster, they came into this game 12-0 on the year. Ascension Catholic doesn't care about that. Simon, a 10-yard touchdown. He had 4 touchdown runs in the first half. Simon, 34 carries, 369 yards, 6 touchdowns, and Ascension Catholic is on their way to the Louisiana Superdome to play in the state title game. They win easily, 45-14 the final score. They made it to the state championships in 2017 and 2018. They weren't able to win. They'll be going head-to-head with Riverside Academy. We'll be talking about Riverside and showing you action from their game. WAFB's John Eads was there this evening. Time for a commercial break. The state semifinal edition of Sportsline Friday Night continues after the break. Welcome back to Sportsline Friday Night Division I non-select semifinals. Zachary on the road at Ruston. First drive of the game, the Broncos eat up 10 minutes of clock, but on fourth down, Ruston stands tall. Bearcats, there you see the defense breaking up the pass. Bearcats now finally touch the ball. Let's get to the playmaker, Ahmad Hudson, on third down, a screen pass, and he does the rest. 12 yards for the conversion. Later, another third down. This time, Sam Hartwell with a QB keeper. He beats a few, and he takes it in. So Ruston with a 7-0 lead with 8:30 left to go in the second quarter. But the ensuing Zachary drive, it's Michael Kirby, the pump fake, then the deep pass to Jacoby Reams. He takes it to the 20-yard line. And a few plays later, Tyleek Lewis pounds it in to tie the game up at 7. Ruston can't do anything on offense. Zachary gets the ball back and is able to kick a field goal as time expires here. Just gets it over the bar. 10-7 at the break. But in the end, in this game, Zachary, they fought hard on the road against the #1 seed in the state. But Ruston, Kyle Williams, of course, played there before moving on to LSU and now coaching with the Tigers. They go on to win, so it's Ruston and Ouachita Parish who pulled off a victory over Neville, who is the #2 seed. Plenty more action coming up after the break. Sportsline Friday Night semifinals, winners advance to the Superdome. Back to Sportsline Friday Night Division III Select Semifinal. Dunham on the road at Lafayette Christian. The Knights welcoming the #1 QB in the state and the nation, Elijah Haven. Didn't take long. Haven, the touchdown to Trevor Heyman, 15-yarder. Tigers up 7-0. Knights come with a response immediately. Braden Allen proves why he'll join Lane Kiffin at LSU next year. He takes a jet touch pass, 38 yards down the sideline. That led to a 2-yard score, and we're all tied up. LCA with the ball back. UL signee Braylon Walker pulls it on the zone read. And call him a temptation because he's a rolling stone. All right, 73 yards later, he's hitting his head on the goalpost. 14-7 Knights. 3 minutes left in the first. Haven says, anything you can do, I can do better. Flinging a 70-yard touchdown to J.J. Harris. We're all tied up at 14. And then 2 minutes before the quarter ends, Walker hits Caden Leday on a 19-yard pitch and catch. And so now it is 21-14. and the quarter wasn't even over. This one going back and forth. It was a shootout in Lafayette this evening, and it was Dunham pulling it out 49-48. So if you remember, a year ago, Neil Weiner's team playing in the state title game, they had it on the goal line with a chance to win it, came up short, so now they're going for it again. As we take a look at the bracket there, so Dunham able to beat the #1 seed on the road, Notre Dame out of Crowley, the Pios, year in and year out under Louis Cook. Tough football, championship level football. They're in the Dome again. So it is Dunham and Notre Dame from Crowley going head to head for the state championship next weekend in New Orleans. Coming up after the break, we'll be checking in with some of our other local teams, seeing how they did this evening in the state semifinals to see who advances to the Louisiana Superdome and the state championships. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to the Sportsline Friday Night Division II Select Semifinals. U-High versus St. Charles Catholic. These teams met in the semis a few years back. The Comets won that one. U-High trying to get some payback in this one. Opening kickoff of the game, immediate fireworks. Kristen McLean breaks off a long return to put the Comets inside the Cubs' 30-yard line. And St. Charles Catholic jumps all over U-High early. The Comets knocked down 2 field goals later in the quarter, as Landry LeBlanc would call his own number here for the touchdown. So that makes it 7-0. Then came the field goals. Sorry for being out of order briefly. 13-0. And then LeBlanc, as you see the big crowd packed into the stands, the option to Skylar Edwards. And Edwards for the long gain, staying on his feet, cutting it back. Look at the guy go before he's finally tackled. A few plays later, the Comets go for it on 4th and 2. LeBlanc finds Evan Dufour for the first down. He was ruled down. Not sure about that, but a few plays later, 3rd and goal. LeBlanc to Dufour again, this time for the touchdown. So 20-0. Comets with all the momentum. So count out U-High, right? Well, not so fast. Ensuing drive, UI gets something going. Their quarterback is, of course, Ethan McGlynn. And he's able to find Lawson Dixon for the first down. A few plays later, McGlynn keeps it for the touchdown to make it a 20-7 St. Charles Catholic lead as they are up by 13 at the half. Third quarter, UI made it a one-score game, 20-14. Comets go back up 2 scores as LeBlanc keeps it for another touchdown, 27-14 Comets. UI tries to respond, and they do. They get inside the red zone. Corbin Odell muscles in, 27-21. St. Charles Catholic up by 6. This game was a standstill for the rest of the third and most of the fourth. Chaos in the final 2 minutes because Kevin Baptiste was shooting the game. McGlynn goes up top to Dixon for the long touchdown. We're tied up at 27. U-High is an extra point away from taking the lead here. But the extra point is blocked. And St. Charles Catholic, they're like the Virginia Tech of local high school football. They love the block kicks, and they've done it over the years in some crucial spots. So we have a coin flip, and we are going to overtime. And here is LeBlanc keeping, as St. Charles Catholic had the ball first in OT. So they score. They kick the extra point. They're up 34-27. So obviously, U-High now in a do-or-die situation, trying to make something happen here on the final play. The pass is ruled incomplete there. So here we go, actually, the fourth down play. St. Charles Catholic's defense trying to bow up. U-High throws it, the fade, it's incomplete. And the Comets, Wayne Stein and company, continuing the tradition of Frank Monica. They are on their way to the Superdome, and U-High, after being ineligible for the playoffs last year, makes a deep run, but they come up a little bit short.
Whenever the game was kind of in a balance, our defense kind of bowed their neck and kept us in it. And then we gave up the touchdown late. I just thought offensively, we asked our defense to go out there just one too many times. You know, we needed to finish the game with the football right there, and we didn't. And I'm just proud of the way that we find a way to block the kick and then find a way to finish this thing in overtime.
Talk about all the time that this group does not give up. You know, we went down big early and you know, gave them 20 points, and you know, our guys never panicked. They just kept playing. We got a touchdown right before half, got a touchdown to get back in the game when we started the second half. And again, they just they fought the entire time. I can't say enough about how proud I am of them.
Wayne Stein and Andy Martin, so your state championship game in this bracket, this division, St. Charles Catholic and Shaw will go head-to-head. We've got some other scores to tell you about. Plaquemine, I'm not sure if that's correct, that they lost that game. That score's reversed. However, this one, correct. Sterlington over St. James, 63-38 the final. And now we are checking in on Riverside in their game this evening as they took on Ascension Episcopal. Brandon Mitchell, his pass is going to be intercepted by Jace Trosclair. As Riverside has it, he fumbles the interception, but Riverside is able to recover. And then that would lead to Jaden Obikwe. Obikwe runs this way. Touchdown, 7-0. Riverside out in front. And then Obikwe, another touchdown run late in the first half to give the Rebels a 14-7 lead at that juncture. Keeping the legs churning there. Third down for Ascension Episcopal. The run is stuffed by the Rebels. As the Riverside defense digging in here. Nope, not going anywhere. The red jersey swarming to the football. The Blue Gators would fake a field goal here. They get a first down. And DJ Kelly would eventually have a 1-yard touchdown run to actually tie up the game. So it's a 14-14 game in the third quarter. So Riverside on their home field trying to get back in it. Obinwe, long touchdown run. Obikwe, I should say. 21-14 Riverside in the third quarter. The Rebels then would force a fumble. Ethan Bourgeois would emerge from the scrum with the ball, as wasn't the prettiest night to go out and see some high school football. It was chilly, rain in the area. There goes the ball popping out. And Ethan Bourgeois, as we talked about, jumps all over it. The next play coming up is a double pass as they go into their bag of tricks. Brock Bourgeois, as we're dialing it up right here on the sideline, swings it to Chris Bichelle, who launches it deep to Kenrick Johnson. That is ruled a catch. And on the same drive, Obinwe short touchdown to make it 28-14. So later in the quarter, Obinwe hits the edge and scores his fifth touchdown of the night, 35-14. As Riverside really was pulling away in this one. The Gators really didn't have a shot as the home team got their confidence going. Fourth down for the Gators. Mitchell is stopped by Jacoby King here. And Obikwe, I know I pronounced the name differently throughout these highlights. I apologize for that. Obikwe is the way to go here. Obinwe popped up, but that was incorrect. Flag on me. But here is Obikwe. One more for good measure. Lots of touchdowns for him this evening. I believe that's 6. 42-14, Riverside, the final score. So the Rebels advancing to the Superdome. They will be taking on Ascension Catholic. We showed you their highlights earlier in the show. And so it's Ascension Catholic and Riverside, two teams that we cover here each week on Sportsline Friday night. And we got the correction on the score. Plaquemine lost that game 58-44. So the Green Devils, another great season, but they will come up one win shy of the Louisiana Superdome. Sportsline Friday night has had another fantastic season. Of course, 9 sports coverage of all of our local teams will continue next week in the Superdome. Our great team of Kevin Baptiste and John Eads hustling to take you inside the Superdome, have your state championship highlights and scores. Thanks for being with us all this season. We, of course, will have our Sportsline Player of the Year coming up later after the state championship games. I'm Jacques Doucet. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you later on.